The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included. So, in the last stream, we spent a very long time building all of this up over Saturday's stream. We can... Oh, we finished all the piping. I didn't even remember finishing that. But right now we can put that in, because I think we have all of the hydrogen-like gases out of here. We used a separate pump to put in a little bit of oxygen into here to prime it. And then we also spent a very long time pretty much making a smaller version down here, but the gases were changed. We ended up not having enough oxygen in here, so the hydrogen was coming down. We killed Wubby multiple times. And as I've said before, in this specific colony, we are not doing deaths, so we will reload every time someone dies. Mama is behind the computer, so I'm moving a box so that she has more space to lay in. The box is there to keep the kittens off of this. At some point we're going to have a half-hour reminder that this specific colony is pre-thought out, so that I don't have to explain it every time someone new comes in. Because I noticed on Saturday, I think I explained it like 4 or 5 times throughout the entire stream. So I figured if I put that reminder, then I won't tell everyone. Unless we get a raid, then I'll of course say it during the raid. But anyway, what we are doing today is we pretty much tamed this already, but what we're going to do is make it so that we can use fresh water from it. So we're going to be using a desalinator to get the salt out of it. We then should have salt coming down here to be turned into table salt, and then they use that with their food. I'm also going to turn this on. We get sedimentary rock from fossil. I never noticed that before. That's pretty cool. That's a somewhat renewable source of sedimentary rock. Obviously, you'd run out of fossil at some point. No, there is a thing that gives you fossils. We are playing with only one story trait, which is the thing that dupes make dream journals from. And there is another story trait that has multiple fossils throughout the map that you have to discover, and then the last fossil gives you unlimited fossil, which in turn would give you unlimited sedimentary rock. Obviously, it also gives you lime, but if you, for any reason, need sedimentary rock, that's a good way of doing it. I know this effects thing is new, but I never knew that it gives you fossil. I knew about the lime, but I never noticed that the fossil would give you sedimentary rock. Cool. Okay, so along with getting this set up so we have oxygen up here and then deleting this portion, I also want to clean up the base, get the ranches set up, which is only going to take a little bit of time. We already have most of the critters in their respective ranches. We've been pretty much just moving them around by egg. And we can also prime the Draco Ranch since there's already hydrogen down here. I could come in here, put a floor here, trap the hydrogen in these two tiles, so this entire row here would stay there. And then we come up here, place a tile right here, and that would trap the hydrogen here. Because if you don't know about Dracos, Dracos are one of the few critters that you can, I'm forgetting what they're called. What is the specific thing called? Shearing station. Shear. You can shear Dracos. And they will give you scales, which you can use for Atmos suits. The glossy Dracos, when you shear them, they give you plastic. So that's how we're going to make our beds and tubes and such later on. And once you shear them, if they do not have an amount of hydrogen gas to then lay in or spend time in, they never grow back their scales. So we're going to be ranching them in this. It's probably going to extend out into this water, so we're going to have to drop the water. It definitely is going to extend that far because if this is a half ranch, we're going to have to go to probably out to here, which has even more hydrogen. So, let's press play, because I haven't pressed play to get rid of all those icons. This was for salt water. We can re-queue that on a 5. We don't need it to be a high priority anymore. And what's this on? That's on a 6. That's fine. I'm going to give them a few seconds, because it looks like they're picking up a bunch of seeds and moving them into this bucket, which means that they are doing things on a priority of 5, which is a bunch of stuff that they weren't able to do while we were trying to get the spawn ready. Should probably also move Wubby to their actual bed. There's only one person on that. They are the 5th bed. Would be this one. We had moved Wubby because of them not being able to breathe, and they had slime lungs, so they're moving fast or slower, and also needing more air. So they couldn't get very far, which is why they kept dying. Once we had oxygen replaced in here, they were able to slowly go through the bottom portion to get to their rooms, and we had a bathroom over here. Once the hydrogen got to this level, we were able to get them back up here. Now everything's okay. Anyway, how should I do the water? Now, I usually cap it off and have a pump taking it out. We probably can start that, but I also want the ability to have it on our main power network. So we're going to have to do a little bit of setup, and I'm going to use the Salt Water Geyser to do most of it, I think. So if we put a pump right here, we could put the power at this bleach stone thing. I just need to know where the power connection is. It's on the left. So we could queue this specific tile to be this. And then up here... Do we need it to be disconnected from everything? I mean, it is 95-degree water. But this is also not going to be full very often. You know what? I'll do it just to be safe. And then we're going to need to use this wire to go up there and also to this specific tile. This is going to have to be vacuumed out. We're going to need tiles there and then tiles here, but we need to vacuum that out first. So let's deconstruct all of that. They should be able to reach everything right here. So I'm gonna let them build all that. Can they get up? They can't get up here. Let's just continue this all the way up. And then the same here for now. I will then go like this. There's apparently a water weed in there. Let's cancel that uproot. There's also a machoke in chat. Now, machoke, I don't think I've seen before. I've seen the previous thing, but chop. Actually, I have caught it. Welcome in, Slicky. Let's dig out. Not that tile. I almost forgot that has water weed. We're gonna try and save the water weed for extra food. And thank you, Slicky, for putting points towards our new goal. I forgot to say, we have a new channel point goal that if you guys complete the goal, which requires a minimum of 2,000 points per stream, I will wear a kid's Halloween costume on either Halloween Day, October 31st, which is a Friday, a day that we don't normally stream. Also, I have a new overlay showing the Pokemon that's in stream, and I think that is way too big. So I forgot that I was, we're testing out this overlay thing. So this is the Pokemon that's currently in chat. I'm gonna have to obviously make that smaller. I want to know how long that stays out for. And Slicky rolled for a mug and chose a number 9. I'll do that in just a moment. I want to know if that Pokemon on screen goes away after it does. It did! Okay. We're going to test one more thing. So give me a moment to set this up, because there is another type of overlay that says animated. So for the next Pokemon, we're going to try that. I guess that Pokemon popped up earlier as well. Or a Pokemon popped up earlier for Finian. Don't know. But while we're waiting, we're also getting this built, so it's not like we're wasting time doing this. Oh, there's also a thing that tells us when the next spawn is going to be. Ooh. We're gonna do a poll on that. That's not the right thing. So this is going to be a quick yes/no question. Do you guys want to know when the next Pokemon is going to appear? And then we are going to use this for the next Pokemon. And if you guys do want to know when the next Pokemon appears, I would have to set that up later on. Bye, Mama. She's trying to get down. Seemed like she got stuck on something. I think it was just trouble trying to figure out how to get down. Anyway, so the next Pokemon is now set up to be a different type of look. It should be animated. It's obviously going to be too big. There's no real way for me to change it except for when it's live. So the next time a Pokemon pops up, we're going to spend some time moving it, making it smaller, and then deciding on if we like the animated one or the other one. It is a tie for if people want to know when the next Pokemon is coming. So I think we will wait until near the end of the stream and do another poll. The same thing, yes or no. Also, while there is more than one person currently here, and while I'm getting the mug, we are going to do a prediction for our first of 3 pods. Also, Slicky, while you're here, Gino had gifted a dupe to you. So there is currently a Slicky dupe in here, but since you weren't here for it, you weren't able to choose your dupe. So you have the option of choosing who you want. So anyone that has a current name like Gino, Willow, and Wubby, you can't have. But we have a Bert. Forget what dupe this is, but that's the current Slicky is a researcher. So it's either Bert, Travaldo, or the person you already named. So it's up to you. You can stay the same person. The researcher is one of our original 3 dupes. Gino and Willow are the other 2. So if you want the novelty of being one of the first 3, you can. But you can also be Bert Travaldo. I'm going to go find that mug now. And I believe you said number 9. And also thank you, Gino, for putting another 2,000 points in case I didn't fully explain. The amount of points needed is the exact amount of 2,000 points per stream up to October 31st. So as long as one person comes in every stream and does 2,000 points, we're good. Is there a mechanical engineer? There is. Unfortunately, that is Willow. Willow was one of our first 3. There will be another one. So if you want me to hold the spot for when we get the second mechatronics engineer, we can do that. I don't mind doing that, if that's what you want. Anyway, let me go get mug number 9. Which is behind. Oh, hello. There's 2 kittens on my bed and 1 on the couch. But there's 9 up here. Number 9 is Echo's mug, if you didn't see me pick it up. It's on the front, it says dumpster fire emote. On the back, it says chaos. I'm gonna pour that in a moment. It looks like all the kittens went back to sleep. So, let me get back into the spot here on the chair, and then I'm gonna point out where the kitten is on the cat tree. You can kind of see them. You may not be able to tell them apart right now. Thank you for the hydrate. Okay, so on the cat tree, there is a blanket. That little black spot right here at the tip of my finger is the kitten we are keeping. And then also Mama is moving around. What? She's been crying a lot recently. I don't know if she knows that the kittens are missing and is missing her kittens, but she also seems to just really want to not be in the room. She's been trying to run out of the room as quickly as she can, and at first I thought it was just to be away from the kittens. Now that there's less, they're not bothering her as much, so I don't know if they actually want to be away from the kittens or just be downstairs. Anyway, in case I didn't explain already, Echo's mug is the mug that got broken. And I am spilling this on my lap as it was going in. So now I have water on my pants. Actually, it's just all on my shirt. That's a little better than on the pants. By the way, in case you missed, I chose yes to cause a tie, I don't care, which means the real winner is no. Okay, Slicky, I did see that before. I just didn't draw attention to it. We're still gonna do another poll later on, just to make sure. Okay. Cheers, by the way, before I forget. And it looks like they finished building everything up top because I see Gino, Willow, and Wubby just standing together doing nothing. So, let's do this pod. Water. Supply with a bottomless stomach. We are not doing bottomless stomach. That is one of the few dupes. But, I always forget what to call that. Buff is good. Debuff? Oh, there's one on the keyboard. Hopefully that didn't go underneath the key. I think it did, only a little bit. It should be fine. Anyway, we're gonna get the water because I don't want either one of these two. This is the only interest we are not doing. Suit wearing. We also already have a supplier, so we're not doing the supplier. But the bottomless stomach, it's on its own, is a reason not to do the dupe. Because I just do not want to deal with that. Okay, so now I need to make a liquid lock on this area. And then vacuum out this entire thing so that there is a temperature... So they can't transfer thermals. Was Otto the one all the way on the left? Because we're doing a challenge along with everything. We are only accepting duplicants that have one interest. It brings a little bit more difficulty to the game. Because it takes longer to get specific dupes. And then on top of that, we're not doing all 24 until we have the first 12 interests. The super dupes. Yes, that's a good way to explain it. Why is Travolta down here? Oh, because of this. This is a bedroom, so I miscounted. All of these should be moved over by one. We'll do that later when we actually have that room set up. I need them to build this tile so I can vacuum everything out. Go here. How much hydrogen is down here? Not enough to prevent this. Then we need this to have power somehow. I think I might just put a wheel up here. Have them run on it. No battery, just the wheel. That should be able to vacuum out this entire room. A little bit of chlorine in here. Is there stuff in here that would off gas? I mean, the polluted dirt will off gas. Ooh, that's something I can't pick up. So let me actually cancel sweeping, relocate to this tile. We are not storing polluted dirt because that's going to be a critter food later on for the poke shells. Also, exciting news for me at least, or to me at least. Next Friday, I'm getting a haircut. So during the summer, for those that don't know, I do not have work because I'm a school bus driver. Obviously, when the schools aren't going in, we don't drive. So I have to go onto unemployment for a few months. And that causes me to make just enough to pay my bills. So it's like, I'm not in trouble during the summer, but at the same time, I couldn't afford getting a haircut, so I just let my hair grow out. And I am annoyed with the length of it at this point. So I'm excited to get my haircut. Now that should be everything in here that can off gas. We're going to build the tiles here and then let the salt water drip in here so that when we dig these two bleach stone tiles, they won't off gas. Can they off gas before being dug? That's a question. I don't think they're like polluted dirt and mud where they off gas before being dug, or oxalite. It is a sublimator though. And there's no description on what the word sublimator means. I thought maybe they would have put in, you know, this off gas before being dug type thing. Why is there chlorine? Oh, right, because chlorine would have dropped down. Okay, there's not too much gas in here, so it shouldn't take too long. It would obviously run faster. There's a milkerine chat. Look at how tiny it is. I do like the animated thing, so we're gonna take a short break for hint hint future coded. We're gonna pause the game. And I'm going to move this around. Does it get smaller after I move it? It does. Okay, so that's a slight issue. Where should I put the Pokemon? That's the question. I think we're going to put it down here. Next to the cat camera. This is the same spot that if I get a new follower or new subscriber, the thing would notify me down there. But I think the Pokemon are only in the top left corner of the source. I definitely do like the animated one more than the other one, so we're definitely going to keep that. We're just going to have to test out in the next Pokemon if the Pokemon sizes are accurate. Milcery is a relatively short Pokemon in terms of height. Machoke is the size of an adult, so that explains the difference between those two specific Pokemon. And it's about to escape. Okay, so if you guys need a second heads up before the thing in chat goes off saying that they escaped, the picture will disappear. So that's a good way to know if you're going to miss it or not. Because if you didn't type it in before that picture disappeared, you probably aren't able to catch it. I don't think they put a delay on it, where if you put it at the last second, you have the option. Alright, let's get back to this then. So we almost have this emptied. I could make it more efficient by putting a battery since, you know, they can't breathe up here. I'm trying to avoid doing that for as long as I can. We're down to milligrams on the chlorine. And the hydrogen. It's starting to, spread out. I mean, they're not doing too bad. We're now less than 1,000 milligrams. I should say less than 500. Let's figure out how I'm going to get up here. I should put one tile there so that all the water has to go to the right once we open it up, and should not have a chance of going to the left. Dig up all of this. That's going to release a lot of chlorine. Let's try to not release chlorine if we can help it. This area, we're going to have to release all the chlorine in order for us to build in here. So I'm not worried about that chlorine, but this is like an unnecessary amount that we need. We also have our Draco here. And I'm hoping we get a rancher before we have to move the Draco. I am going to bite the bullet or rip off the band-aid. Put a battery over here. Small battery should be enough to get this done. Alright. Doing stuff in OBS. put that right here. Also, in case anyone wasn't here on Saturday, I was explaining to chat that I got a new monitor, and that my monitor stand that holds 2 monitors, since the 2 monitors I have get screwed in at different heights, they're at different heights on the stand because it doesn't have a vertical change between 2 monitors. They have to stay at the same height. I am going to get a new monitor tonight after I'm done my afternoon shift, and then use my gaming monitor instead of the TV, because I haven't used a TV in so long for gaming. I should be able to plug in an HDMI to the gaming monitor and then use that as a TV with 2 HDMI cords in a way. Either way, we are down to the last few micrograms of both gases. We should be charging this battery faster than we're using it. We definitely are. It's just a small battery, doesn't last very long. But we're now empty. Equipment upgrades are fun. They definitely are. At some point, I'm going to be upgrading even more stuff. Just not anytime soon. Should probably set this to building so I don't forget. And did I put this on gas? I did. Alright, so once someone comes in here and does this... Oh, Willow, why are you stressed? Recover from heat. What is too hot? Oh, this whole area is too hot. Oh! I didn't realize that the Draco area was a hot area. I didn't think it was cold like this one, but I thought it was a normal area. Okay, that explains what's going on there. What is super hot over here? Something's superheating the oil. Oh, it might just be the oil itself is hot. This area is getting hot because of the water heating up. Are we still making aluminum? No, we're not making anything. Okay, this area on the other hand is getting warmer. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's continue doing this. Once they delete all this, I'm going to put in all the insulated tiles, which is going to make a Tetris-like look. And as long as this stays a vacuum, I won't have any issues later on. Nope, that's not how I want to do this. I don't want to put those tiles where... We want to dig these out first. And hopefully if they do this one first, they'll just move the debris to the right. I'm gonna go like this and high prioritize the inside one first. Here comes Willow. Willow is a faster builder. Now will that push it to here or on top? Unfortunately it went on top, so I am going to... Actually, I don't have to take that out now. Because we're gonna have to get in here. We won't worry about it. We'll just do those. We're only vacuuming this area for this specific place. Over here is going to be vacuumed out. Or I should say replaced by the water. So we don't have to vacuum this hydrogen that's at the top of the water. There's another regular pod. Oh, a snazzier green suit. Let's see who the next named dupe is. Oh, we actually don't have anyone else that's named. Okay, so we are going to give this to the farmer because they are the first one in the list. Oh, we should probably check skills. I think there's somebody that doesn't have all the skills. You didn't. There's somebody else that doesn't have it. There we go. Okay, so as well as them having the full interest, everyone is also getting improved carrying too to get that 800 kilogram plus. to the carrying capacity. This is still a vacuum. We just need these 2 tiles as a vacuum. Why aren't they building this? How is that unreachable? I guess I can't go vertical and over. Or diagonal and over. Alright, we'll add that in. Let's not build that tile. And we're just gonna come in here and dig out all this stuff. As well as deconstruct these 2 tiles. And then we're gonna put a gold pump in here, because that should be able to handle the salt water at the highest temperature it has. I should probably replace these tiles with insulated tiles. This is gonna release some water. We should be okay, even if it releases it. The chlorine's gonna do its magic, the hydrogen's gonna go up. We're fine either way. Hopefully this isn't gonna go dormant by the time we get it set up. It is! Okay, so we're pretty much preparing for a dormant thing. This should still produce more salt water and push all the gases out of here. So I'm not too worried about this yet. Sweep up all that stuff. We're gonna get our gold pump in here. We also need to give it water. Now the height of the roof is gonna be right there, or the ceiling. So I'm gonna go up to this tile and bring it over to the right. Because at some point we are going to have infinite liquid storage over here on the right, and everything's going to be pumped over here. Because pretty much all of our water is on this side, except for this one geyser. Everything else is over here. Good, it's starting to produce more water. We also need to put in the last wire. I am purposely putting in the heavy watt conductive wires, so that if in the future we end up putting too much stuff on the lines, it doesn't break in a place that we can't get into later on. It's something that Echo Ridge does, and I'm pretty much copying the same idea. This is almost going to put up water in here already. But as long as they take everything out of here, we can actually do this now. We don't actually have to wait until they sweep everything, as long as we keep one tile open. And for some reason, it's not going up to this tile yet, the water. We have over 1,000 kilograms in each tile. There we go, now it's starting to think about it. And now it actually is. Slicky, why are you crying? Toasty surroundings, popped eardrums, sopping wet. Okay. You just have a lot of stress going on. Well, that's something we should probably get started. Let's put that all together so that it can at least use the massage table. In the future, we won't have to worry about it at all because we're going to have so much decor and stuff giving morale boosts in this area just alone. Can we take this little bit of gold amalgam out of here, please? Should also set up on A4, sweeping out all of the rooms. So let's finish out the floor up here first. This is our research room. And I'm going to get the thing pulled up so I can see how I set up all of this. Okay, So right above this tile, being right here, is going to be a pressure plate. Right above this tile is going to be another one. And right above this tile is going to be a third one. Two, three. I have to deconstruct that. And then for the last one, we're not doing a pressure plate because we can't put a light above it. This is so that it's only using power with the lights when a dupe is there. There's a lady in chat. That is very small. I don't think that should be that small. I also want to move it down a little bit. How do I make it bigger? Since they're doing stuff, I'm gonna let the game keep running, but I'm gonna come in here and change the sizes. If I take a 0 out of both of these, did that do anything to Ladian specifically? I don't think it did. But I can now at least make it bigger. Oh, it does get cut off a little bit. I need it a little bit taller. Let's go 120 in height and an even 200 in width. Is it getting cut off now? No. Okay. So unless there's another issue later on, we'll leave it like that. And here we want stations. We want research station here. Because the tile that your cursor is where they need to stand. Supercomputer right here. Material study right here. Congrats, Gino, on catching a new Pokemon. And these are our first hour announcements, but I did not see the one that does 30 minutes. So I may not have set that up correctly. Anyway, next to this, we're doing our radiation stuff. Ooh, I see what I did differently compared to the current one. Okay, so we're putting 3 of these. 2 of these. And then it's going to go to the right and down. Because we can't put one diagonal. This one can be diagonal. But these would have to be moved over one tile, and I don't want to move them over. Or do I? No, I see what I'm doing. I'm having each table separated by 3 tiles specifically. So we're going to leave it like that. In the meantime, let's go and put in all of the automation. We can. Now this is going to have automation to stop the dupes from using these. So I'm going to have this for the light, and then we're going to go down here like this with a bridge. And then we will be able to set this up to be running constantly so long as this isn't full. Let's go around and deconstruct all of the stuff we don't need. This goes straight down. I am going to put in the lights, but we're probably not going to do them for a while. Now, for science areas, I like to do the lab glass ceiling light, but there's no other reason for me to do it. We have 2 people getting their massages, so they should be doing a little bit better. We can also finish off locking that all in. Let's dig out this way to continue the pipe, and then we need some way of getting up through here. Now we can also finish deconstructing all of this stuff. there's another regular pod. We're also... Oh, a rancher. Decreased germ resistance so they would get sick quicker. And decreased construction. Does a rancher need to build anything? I don't think they need to build. We also seem to be losing food. Because we were above 300k cows before, and now we're below 240. I'm gonna take the Lindsay. We need a rancher. So let's get Lindsay into farming. And then by the time we get to that Draco, we should be ready for her to get the next skill point into ranching. In terms of where they're going to sleep, and also what schedule they're going to be on. They're on the second schedule, and also right before Wubby. So their bed is right here. I just need to move around schedule stuff. I'm going to pause for a second while I do this. Just to keep them in the same order as skills, Lindsay has to go before Wubby. We also need another table. So we'll do that. Now that they have this ready, I can sweep all of this stuff. All the stuff except for what we're using for power or food later on. For critters. Alright, what else? Gina should still be coming up here to dig this all out. I think I want a hydrogen sink up here. Let's continue the 5-step ladder here. 2, 3, 4, 5 would be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would go all the way across. But it's stuck there, so let's not do any of these. I'm gonna put this here. And this ladder would be 1 tile above that. And over here, we are actually only 1 tile off. So that whole thing's going to be a tile. And then this would be the next area. We can cancel all that. I'm still not entirely sure if we're going to block this off in insulated tiles just yet. I think I do want to at least build this whole floor in. We don't need any doors here because we have the doors out here to stop people from going out if we don't want them to. Apparently this is overpressured. Wow, it really is. Because these are running non-stop. What are the chances that I can add automation to this? Actually, pretty high. All I have to do is deconstruct those 2 tiles. They should still be filled with hydrogen after I deconstruct them. Okay. What we're gonna do... deconstruct those 3 tiles. I'm doing this one so that we can get in here. Because what I'm gonna do is put this here. Connect them all in, except for that tile. Because I want the oxygen in the area that it's leaving to be what they're going off of instead of where it's expanded to. Body temperature, it's getting too hot over here. That's not good. Also, if this gets too hot, it's gonna burn away the salt water, which will break the whole liquid lock thing here. What are they prioritizing? Oh, the floor up here. That's okay. Oh, that's right. I put this one tile in to show where the side of the base is going to end up. Alright, I really want them to do the tiles and not this stuff. Or the automation, I mean. Let's put this on a 6. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. I'm also going to tell them to sweep all this. You know, no, it's only aluminum and igneous rock. Things that we have a decent amount extra of. Going off of the fact that we have 258 tons of igneous rock. Now, Regis is supplying everything, but the longer they stay in here, the more chance they have to get too hot. Our stress is now below 50. And I think I'm going to put tiles here so that all the oxygen is pushed to this sensor. Let's go below 1500. So now that's going to cause an issue later on with all of this up here. But we should have this being used, the hydrogen, so long as there's more than 500 grams. And then just for looks, I'm going to put this stuff back. We're gonna have to find a new place to put our food. Oh, we don't really have much cold places. I could start making all the food up here. It would be a farther area for them to walk to, but it would be okay. Also, this slug drank all the water up here. So those Paku are gonna die. You know, I think I am going to set up all of the stuff up here. All the food. So let's make this a little bit easier for them to get up here. We go from here, they won't have to go through the bedroom. Let's go to that, and then like this. Dig out tiles so that they can breathe better. Or so that the air can transfer better, I mean. And then in this area, we want to set up flooring. So we're going to stop those. Put some tiles there. To deconstruct those two and probably dig out this. If I go into food, we grab the planter box for now. 5, 10, 15. That's 3 dupes there. If we do 3 rows of that, we should be fine. Now, why did you build this tile and then get stuck in there, Regis? We're gonna try to not deconstruct that one tile, although it would be easy. I could also dig up this way if we need to get Regis out of here. But Regis is now saved. Alright, let's do 3 rows of this. So we need to go down 4 tiles. We don't need to build tiles there. 2, 3, 4. This is all the meal ice we need to feed everyone. And this should stay cold for quite a while. We could also break up here to exchange thermals. I don't think we need to. There's another Pokemon in chat? Oh, there is, a Cradily. Why am I not hearing sounds? I feel like Firebot's not working. I heard that sound. Oh, that's right. The Pokemon cries are only Pokemon from Generation 1. I have not set up noises for any other Pokemon that's not from Generation 1. I think I might go through it and actually, do the remaining Pokemon. It'll take quite a while. There is 1 hatch egg. And they're in there. Okay. Oh, there's more water there. I'm gonna cancel those. Dig out all this, then dig out all of this. And there's no tile right here. Oh, it's not that there's no tile, it's them digging out down here makes it fall. So we need a tile there. We're gonna need tiles here, I think. Oh, apparently not. Alright, let's set this up so we have 1 row at least working. When did they... I don't know when we ended up getting in here, but we're gonna kill that slug. And try to save the Pacus by digging them away into water, like that. What's going on over here? Why did they dig those tiles? Now we can't use the farms. Strange. Now we didn't dig up any cobalt, so there shouldn't be any issue with them doing this. Is there a way for me to prioritize killing that? Let's grab more. Queue that up for being right here. And queue it up for being there as well. Alright, while we're doing this, I think it's time for us to do our first prediction of the day. So what is in the pod? We have 30 points in both clothes and wallpaper. So good luck to the both of you. It is a building. Mush green refrigerator. I think this is the first refrigerator I've gotten. So let's choose the outcome. Unfortunately, both people did not win. But we haven't gotten a building in a while, I think. Oh, I got another work-related text. Okay. They did not do the one thing I asked, but they did everything else. So anyway, hopefully they kill this now. And I don't think there's a way for me to prioritize them doing it. I think they're just stuck doing the food first. Let's mop all this stuff up as well. Probably also do a check on plants. Looks like the only red stuff is up here. We only have 6 more plants to place in up here. They do have the combat queued up. They definitely are drinking the water. That at least gave back the water. Oh, they had a lot in there, geez. Can I delete that carbon dioxide? Is it gonna bring back all of the water? Maybe. It's still spreading out the water. Oh, they almost built that. They're running out of air. Did that just to deconstruct it. Okay, they're starting to do the mop requests over here. They are still moving food and the eggshells. So it's going to be quite a while before they are doing random stuff. But that should be all the food we need. We can ignore the food dying down here. We will just end up having extra. I don't want the pipsqueak and we don't want the other dupes. So let's go through all of this. Tell them to dig everything. Deconstruct those. That's going to include the little bit of water weed that we have here. Deconstruct that one sand tile. Or not deconstruct, dig it. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do this area. Should probably do the neurovacillator at least once, and then we can destroy it later if we want to. Since Gino was the one that paid for a bunch of dupes, I'm gonna have Gino do the neurovacillator. Let's see what you get, Gino. What kind of buff do you get for shaking yourself? Oh, I didn't read it. I thought that was for the inspect. You're right here. What did you get? Welcome in, Taco! What did we just get? Sunny disposition? Probably. Pretty sure it's this one. Minus 20 stress per cycle. Because those are the 2 negatives, so I don't think they had that. Anyway. Now we'll actually inspect this. That's what I thought I was clicking right. And it's a new entry for me, apparently. cafeteria dishwashers incapable of handling petri dishes. So how are you today, Taco? We are doing a pre-planned colony here. There's no deaths allowed, so if someone dies, I will reload the game. We are also doing an added difficulty of all of our dupes are only allowed to have one interest. Means that you have to wait longer for specific type of dupes. We're also going up to 24 people, but we cannot start the second group of 12 dupes until we get the first 12 interests taken care of. Everything except exosuit training. So we just got a rancher who's on screen now, Lindsay. We just are waiting for them to get into critter ranching. We have a few named dupes, but not all 9 are named. We have Gino, Slicky, Willow, Wubby. I think that's all of them. Gino, Willow, Wubby. Slicky. Oh, and Regus. Regus streaming. How many hours do I have? Close to 4,000. What's the actual number? 3,800. You're a pro? I would not say I'm a pro. I think the better explanation would be more veteran. I've done it for a long time, but I don't know what I'd call myself a pro. That's what a pro would say? Alright. We just started setting up mealwood for all 9 dupes because the mealwood down here is getting too hot from our temporary spawn, which is now low on hydrogen. We were, unfortunately, overpressurizing our colony. We had 20 kilograms of oxygen down in this corner, and it was spreading out too far. Everyone had popped eardrums. I just barely survived my challenge. What was your challenge? I'm curious for new ideas. Let's continue digging over here. Dust caps are one of the foods we're going to be making later. We're going to be doing mushroom wraps. Echo challenged you to send a dupe through the tear. We are going to be doing that for this specific colony. It'll be the first time I've ever done the temporal tear. I don't know how to set it up. I know it needs radiation some way. I think the specific building needs radiation and it shoots it at the tear and then you can go through it. I don't actually know everything behind it. Took you 2,000 cycles, 1 hit point, and a dream. I don't know if that makes it easy for me to do then or not. Oh, why are they digging over here? They don't need to dig these out. Wait, they might later in... we'll do those 2 tiles. I don't think they can get this 1 tile. Actually, I don't need that ladder if they can do this one already. So for my channel, if you haven't been here before, thank you for the subscription, the Prime subscription. We now have 7 out of 10 subscribers. So that should mean that you're also part of the first group. Because I think it's the first 10 subscribers are considered first. Don't really remember. Alright, I haven't really been focused on subscribers. Or trying to get subscribers. What was I going to say? Yes, I did just hit affiliate. We've been affiliate for almost a year. I should be getting close to... Wait, you can convert from Prime to a Tier 1 sub? Thank you. Hopefully that didn't cost you like double money. I don't know how that works. But hopefully you didn't have to pay for both. Anyway, I should be hitting my first year of subscribing in a few weeks. I know we started in October. We became affiliate in November, so it took me about a month to become affiliate due to being in various channels at the time. And that was before I even met Willow. There's a shroomish in chat if anyone wants one. At this point, we could probably set up our temporary water filtration area. Set that ladder up there. Now that we use this, I'm going to deconstruct it. I know we can recharge it, obviously, because the button's there. I don't think we have any of the stuff to recharge it. We're also going to have more of these later on, so if we want to use them later, there's, I think, one up north somewhere, one south. This is the only one that's kind of in the way of ladders and stuff. So now we can bring this all the way up. I'm going to demolish everything and then deconstruct all of this stuff. Also, power. Yeah, we're gonna move these. I was thinking, should I keep those and then just connect into them, be less building, but I'd rather move it than keep it right there. Gino's doing good work on digging out everything. I don't want to dig out the plants, but I want to dig out this stuff around the plants. Continue our ladder all the way up. They're not going to be able to get out of this, so that's going to go away. Actually, no. We'll have them pop over here. Dog/cat cam? Yes, we have a few cats. I started feeding a stray cat for a while now. And then at the beginning or end, it was the end of August, 8 weeks ago, she gave birth to 6 kittens. Since this past Saturday, 2 days ago, was their 8-week mark, we have given away 3 of the 6. One is right here next to me. That little black blob on the blanket is one kitten. And then there's 2 on the bed that you can't see. So I've been feeding 7 animals for 8 weeks, and my bank account is crying. Luckily, they don't eat too much. Right now, they barely eat 1 can of wet food per day. I feed them half can increments, and they barely eat half a can each time. Their appetites are getting better, or bigger. Thank you for the 1,000 bits. I want to deconstruct all these wires. We are keeping the mom and the kitten that is on my shoulder in a way. The other 2 that are on my bed are, well, one's spoken for. The other one is not. I have a gray tuxedo cat, or a tuxedo kitten, that we're still finding someone to go home to. We do have a possible person, but we haven't messaged them yet, because the tuxedo cat was supposed to be for someone else. We were messaging, but they haven't responded in quite a while. So we're gonna give them one last chance today, and then tell them they're not gonna get the kitten anymore. With this one, we shouldn't need 2 desalinators. It's also dormant, so it's not gonna go very long. We should be fine with just 1 desalinator with that amount of salt. 8.4 kilograms per second. I think this does that amount. No, it doesn't. It actually does less. So the first 2 numbers should be... How much it does? No, it does right here. 5 kilograms. So I am going to put a second desalinator. Later on, we're going to have 2 saltwater geysers connected into the same filtration system. And that, I know, has 2. So we might as well just start out now with it. So we can have a full pipe at all times. Oops. We will go like this. And then this just gets sent into our spawn for right now. We can also have this prime toilets and our hospital. We haven't done that yet. How much power is this going to be on one line? 482, that's 960. That's going to need a conductive wire. Now what I usually do for these is, one, get the refinery back on making cobalt. What's in the pod? We have a tidier. I don't think we're ready for more dupes yet. We're just now getting the food situation sorted. Should we do a prediction? I think we should do another prediction. We should at least start it. So, what is in the pod in the top left corner? Is it going to be clothes, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? If it helps you guys decide, the previous blueprint was buildings. You have 10 minutes to put your points in. See if you win anything. We will be doing 3 blueprints per stream until this is down to doing 1 pod per stream. I have a stockpile of 80, and we're still fighting to make that less than 80. Because right now I'm getting 3 blueprints per stream almost. What else do we need to do? We're still sweeping up the bedrooms. That will help with morale. We moved our science, but we didn't connect it in with power. I think we will start connecting the... start doing the power soon. All the power lines that we need. Since we're moving the food out of my previous colony system, we're only going to need... five transformers supplying power to the entire colony. A lot of the power is conveyor belt system stuff. And then one big thing is the arcade machine that we're going to put in here. That I think alone is almost a conductive wire by itself. Did we do the research for bathrooms? I think we did. Yeah, we did a while ago. So I can at least plan the hospital for right now. We won't switch over the bathrooms until we have this up and running in 37 cycles. Plumbing. This is made out of metal. Do I want to make it decor related? Because I can make it out of gold amalgam and then get that extra decor bonus. Could do that for the toilets as well, so I'm guessing everything is ore in this. We're gonna do it. Just for the decor. And then for the hospital, goes right above it. We want a toilet. Right next to that is going to be a sink. And then next to that is a triage cot. Nope, right next to it is a mess hall, a mess table, and then a triage cot. That's a bed. Mess table. And then there's going to be another thing, and another thing, and then things to make pills later. Which are going to have an automation so that they're not constantly making pills. It's going to be set up to a smart storage once we have that unlocked. That'll be somewhat in the near future. Welcome in, cloud cover. I was shocked to see how little benefit personal bedrooms was. Really? Because I do the what's the room actually called? Oh, the private bedroom, like you said. It does give a +3 to morale. It kind of only helps with our mechatronics engineer because of how many different skills they have to be in. That would be Willow. No, Willow's the builder. Hold on, who's our mechatronics engineer then? Slicky, nope, that's the wrong one. Regis is a mechatronics engineer. Okay, I had the wrong person. I should have went off of their hat. Actually, this isn't the person that needs the most decor. I think it actually is Willow. Because we have her as the builder. They can do tier 2 digging so they can get rid of abyssalite when they're building. They can't do diamond or obsidian because that's the only thing that our diggers are doing. So what's the point of having diggers if Willow can do it? And then everyone's doing supplying so that they can have the extra carrying capacity. So I think Willow is the one that would need the most. An argument could be made for the researchers, but they have literally the same amount, if not more, due to these requiring more morale. Because that's 1, 3, 6. That would be another 2, that would be another 5, so that's 11 there. And then these would be 12 and 14 compared to Willow, who has a 12. So the researcher is actually what we need, what needs the most. And they're only getting a 9 right now. That's partially due to the bedrooms and the fact that there's so much stuff in there. Trying to learn a CAD design. What are you doing? What's the topic? Is it for 3D printing, or is it more of an engineering thing? Fusion 360. I used that once. Forget what it was for. What I used it for, I mean. I know it was school related. Okay, this is Cobalt. We're just waiting on them to use this, which they're doing now. This is on a priority of 6, so they should be doing stuff over anything else. We have all of our sweep stuff on a 4, so that if they're idle, they have something to do. They should mop all this first. Why are these not on a 7? Food, water, and... Am I not able to mass change the priority? Oh, I have to be down here. You know what? I'll tell them to mob it. On a high priority. It is literally the basic step 1, turn on your computer type stuff. Okay. Well, that's still exciting. I think I used it for civil engineering while I was still in high school. They should have enough cobalt to build all this. We do have a lot extra. How did we just somehow unlock that amount of cobalt? 12.5 kilograms. Oh, that's less than what I thought it was. Okay, never mind. Can they get down all the way there? Yes, this is the ladder that's not connected at the bottom. Okay. Also, cloud cover, in case you haven't yet, we do have a prediction going for what's in the pod. And we also, this goes for Taco as well, we have dupes that are available to be named if you want to be part of the colony. We have a Stinky, Travaldo, a Bert, and a Lindsay. So the other 5 dupes are currently named. There's also a Stuffle in chat. Let's set up the bathroom with the flooring, as well as the hospital, so that we can add the pipes through here. I put all my channel points in the prediction. Oh no. I do see someone put, or at least there is 600 points in buildings. We did get a building in our last prediction. In terms of what we get often, I don't know yet. Taco was the one in buildings? Okay. Hopefully you get it back. As long as it's not decorations or wallpaper, it's not rigged. If it is one of those two and nobody gets their points, then I think it's rigged against channel. A Gino donated Taco a dupe. Okay, Taco, do you want to choose a person? Again, it's Stinky, Travaldo, Lindsay, and Bert. Have to take a break and listen to... That's where I haven't seen before. Dual set tones? And a cloud dupe, Gino. Bert is a farmer. Lindsay is the rancher, who probably has a skill point. Yes, she does. So we'll give her the hat. So cloud cover, before you full on leave, do you also want to choose a dupe? Taco will be the rancher? Okay. There's Bert, Travaldo, and Stinky. They are in the same order: a farmer, supplier, and doctor. Where is Lindsay? You're right here. Now I'm going to do it the same way that you have it spelled. No caps. Combat medic? Okay, let's find the medic. I know there's an easier way to find them, but I enjoy trying to look for them. I'll find them easily once I start playing the game again. Are they over by the food? No. That's Willow. That's Regis. Alright. Oh, there they are. They're going to bed. It is going to be... Cloud cover, do you want your full government name or just Cloud? I'll put the full government name for right now, unless you say you just want it as Cloud or Cloud cover. Dealer? Okay, we'll do full government name then. I think so far Regis was the only one that voted for his name to be shortened. Willow, I don't know, was here when Gino donated points towards their name. I know Wellbred was not here, and probably doesn't know that he has a dupe yet. Alright, let's do this pod. Another researcher. Allergic to floral scent is not going to be an issue anymore. It was an issue in my previous stream, or previous colony, because I had the plants in the main room. We're not doing slicksters because we can't keep them alive. We're not doing these two dupes because they have more than one interest. Alright, let's put in the pipes for the bathroom. Do I want these to be insulated? Name generator? Max, the goodest boy. Taco knows why. Do I have a Max? Wait, what are you naming? Are you naming another dupe? I should probably separate that. Because the name generator is also for vents and geysers, and the mug's in the way. I'm gonna assume you're naming another dupe. I am gonna go with Travaldo, since they supply things. I guess Taco's Good Boy and Helper Golden Doodle. Okay. And you did put capital, so I'm gonna assume you want the full name. So that only leaves, I think, one more dupe. The prediction is now done. And we're gonna have the cats going for food soon. So let's do this. Start the next prediction. We're still at 82 blueprints. Do you get more than 3 blueprints per week? Do you get 6? Because I thought it was 3. Meaning that if we did 3 per stream, we would end up at some point less than the amount. But anyway, we got clothes. So whoever voted for clothes, there's 1,000 points on clothes. You just won Taco's 600 points. And I think this is the first time someone's won points, unless Gino won points recently. Or previously, I mean. Let's see, who did the points go to? Awarded to 2 viewers. I can't see the winners. Cloud Cover and Gino both got points. Congrats to the both of you. We're going to immediately start the next prediction. In 9 minutes, we start feeding the kittens. You got 47 big points. You must have put the most in. Or would that mean you put the least in? I don't know. Either way. I need to look at my pipe system. Because there's going to be coin loops going through this floor. And I did do insulated pipes everywhere, so we'll continue that. So from here, we go all the way over. And then we have our polluted water coming out this way and going outside the colony. Because we're going to be using polluted water for something later on. I forget what it is. I think it's used for at least one food source. Now, we're not going to be using the bathrooms until we have our water turned on. You might notice, do you have any good tips or tricks to keep your 3D prints from bending at the edges? I do know a trick for it. It may require sanding afterwards if you want it to be a smooth thing, but pretty much you can put a brim or a skirt. In terms of 3D printing, they do 2 different things, but they pretty much put a thin layer of plastic underneath your entire print, and then you use supports to support your print onto the skirt. Now, you don't have to use supports, it can be directly on the skirt, but I recommend separating it from it, because if it's connected to the skirt, you can't really separate the skirt from it easily. You'd have to cut it out. But a brim or skirt would help you, because then that's the only thing touching the bed, meaning that if anything is to warp, it would be the skirt and not your 3D print. It's helped me with the boxes for my Pokemon cards. This box here. For a while, they were curving at the very bottom where they would lock into another box. And I fixed it recently by putting a skirt. Now, sometimes the 3D printer may be the issue. I think the glass beds are more likely to warp the plastic, but it's not guaranteed every glass bed does it. That's a emote of Max. We do also have an emote of Tori, who was my tuxedo cat. She recently passed away in August, after the kins were born, actually. And we still have her emote. I did get rid of one of them because there was two. Then this goes down to here. There's the emote. Thank you, Gino. This goes here, then this here, and this one there. There's going to be a cooling loop going straight through those two pipes. This is temporary, this top portion of pipes. It's going to be coming from the bottom. So for right now, I'm going to put a pipe down that way, but we're going to continue it up this way as well. And I have it prioritizing the bathroom at first. Because I think the oxygen production uses most of the water almost immediately when it's turned on. So for right now, we're gonna go like this. I purposely put that pipe in between it, just so they don't have to make it later when I take away that bridge. But then we're gonna have this bridge, which is going to be there forever, so that when it's coming from the below, it prioritizes that. Alright, and this is set up to be on the correct lines as far as I can tell. Yep, and then all the polluted water comes out of there. Goes down here. At some point, all the water is going to be leaving out this side, combining with a polluted water vent somewhere up here. And then it's going to be going into a pre-cooled infinite liquid storage, which isn't going to be pre-cooled at first. We're going to have to send it into a massive cooling room. It's just going to be a bunch of aqua tuners. I think there's like 10 to 12 aqua tuners that I'm planning on building. And Cloud Cover did put on the crown. So for those who weren't here last week, Burger King came out with a new crown for Halloween. And on the crown, it has different foods. So there's a bun dressed up like a pumpkin. There's the chicken fries dressed up like a mummy. Either ice cream or milkshake in a cup dressed up like Frankenstein. Then there's a chicken nugget like a chicken. And on this side they have the french fries. And then this box dressed up like Dracula. I recently found out that that's the chicken nugget boxes. And there's an onion ring. And the last thing is a meat patty. So I'm going to attempt to keep this on my head. Since I think... Hold on a minute. Lost my train of thought on that. Either way, since this is the first time Taco's been here, a little explanation. We really like Burger King on this channel. We do have emotes related to Burger King, but we also have a command. I think it's that full command? No, maybe it's just Whopper. There's a command. Don't remember what it's called. Oh, it's Wednesday. So, as that's saying, in my hometown, which I've moved away from, they did a marketing campaign of Whopper Wednesday. So any meal that had the Whopper was cheaper. So it was like $3 cheaper for a large meal. They don't do it in my current area. So right now I pay full price for everything. But every Wednesday I wear the crown because it's Whopper Wednesday. And we celebrate it every week. I'm going to do a quick check on where all the eggs are to make sure that they're all in the ranches. I had a feeling there's going to be one that I can move. I see you guys have found the ban command, which only bans Regus. For those that don't know, the two of us, we like to go in each other's chats and try to ban someone. Jokingly. So we would go into Small Town Sophie's channel and then do ban Regus or something. Banning Regus is a smart move. He's sus. He is actually very busy with work right now. And hasn't been streaming for about 2 weeks. He should be coming back soon. If I remember correctly. I also just got a work-related message. So this is important. Oh, the person. All right, so today I gave one tuxedo cat away, and it seems like it's not working out in that house. The cat that they had previously is hissing and clawing at the cage that the kitten is in. Okay, so hopefully they don't come back before we end stream. For those who are new, we only stream for 2.5 hours on Mondays and Wednesdays. Oh, he's already here. Okay, chat, give me a few minutes. We're gonna go into our be right back scene. I am also going to get the kittens set up and ready to eat. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. And try and finish up a little bit more before we have to raid out. It looks like they're doing a bunch of the sweep commands right now. Our cook is moving the fish meat. Which we do have a lot of food, it just doesn't seem like we have a lot. Because we haven't cooked most of the meal ice. Where are we storing meal ice? We're storing it here. We just have a lot of pickled meal. Oh. Okay, we're fine on food then. I'm just not used to seeing something less than 1 million kcows. We were setting up the bathroom so that it can be used once this comes back on in another 34 cycles. So I think we're just going to go around the base and build it up to what it's going to look like. So up here is going to be yet another room. This is going to be what I dub the crafting room. It doesn't actually have an in-game room. It's going to have an exosuit, an air emptier, and then the 2 different machines for clothing. And then on the right, because there's not enough room down here in the hospital, there's going to be 2 things making medicine. Do I have any of that stuff? Oh, I do have 2 of them. We can put on the exosuit forge. That right there. We do not have the gas bottle emptier thing. I remember looking at the research and seeing it somewhere else. I think it's near the bottom. Yeah, it's right here. We don't have the bottle emptier yet, but that's fine. We do have the textile loom, however, which goes here. And there's one more clothes-related thing goes right here that should turn this clothing into better clothing. And I'm still undecided on if I'm going to cap this off yet. Um, this specific thing doesn't have to be its own room. This did have to be a room. That's why it has a ceiling. This needs its core item, and then it's fine, and will be a recreation room. This should be a massage clinic. Oh, we have this open. Let's put a temporary door right there. Close that and get a little bit extra morale boost. Welcome in, Percuss! Glad to see you here. I have a feeling that you were streaming earlier. Today, specifically. How is the server doing? You weren't streaming yet? Or earlier, I mean? What we're doing right now is following pictures that I took of a different colony, and we're recreating it. We're, since there's two people, since I think I forgot to say it earlier, to Taco and Percuss. On my channel, I play all of my games in an order that shows mankind's progression through technology. So we did a few games in medieval builders like Manor Lords and Settlement Survival. We did a previous chapter in modern builder things, so City Skylines 2, and then various games that would fit into like a modern day city type thing. So we had another brick in a mall, so we created a mall. We had Prison Architect to create our prison. Stuff like that. We are now in the third chapter, which is space travel. So in terms of our story, our main city and planet came down with a disease that we could not cure. So we were trying to go out into space and find a new planet to live on. We did a bunch of streams playing Kerbal Space Program for us to learn how to use a rocket as part of the lore. And then we used a rocket to go to a Mars-like planet in infraspace. And on the way, our ship broke apart, as the game shows you at the beginning. So we fixed the ship, and now we are just taking pit stops on different asteroids. That is how we got to Oxygen Not Included. In terms of extra games along with this, once we get into doing the thing that gives us dream journals, we're going to be playing even more variety of games. Off the top of my head, there's going to be Power World, Eco, and Vintage Story. And it's going to be as a dream. City population dropped to 9 dupes. No, 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 no. You know, I never actually thought about that. But I think what we should be able to say is that the pod is, unlike it says printing pod, it's actually a teleportation device. So it teleports them from our main rocket to this place. I didn't actually think of the lore with Oxygen Not Included, how they get created. We let Leo in here? Leo's always here. Oh, to point out, there are, in case anyone wants some, a few dupes that do not have names. Did we name Cloud Cover? Travaldo should be called Cloud Cover. Oh no, it should be Max the Goodest Boy. No, that's the supplier. Which is Travaldo. Why isn't Travaldo renamed? What about in Vitals? We have Bert. Okay, Travaldo is renamed. Cloud Cover is renamed. We have one dupe available to be named. Cloud Cover is the doctor. So, if Leofar Percuss want to have a dupe name, whoever tries first gets to have Bert. There's a 500 point redeem. we're gonna finish building in all the walls here. Because in terms of these two rooms, we're done. The science, we just have to bring power to it and it's ready. How much cobalt do we have? We don't have a lot, but we have enough to start it. We did not start the power over here. What I like to do for this area is... I'm forgetting what they're called. Coal generators. With a little storage box in the middle. So how much power do we need on this line? We need 1,200. These make 600. Oh, we only need 2, like I thought. To do that, I need a storage box. We do not need automation on this. Yes, we do. I'm gonna put a battery. Because the desalinators are not gonna run 24/7. Neither is the pump. So there is going to be a downtime where we're actually charging the battery, but for the most part it's going to be running constantly. Consumable ore. Put that on a 6 so they fill it up first. And then automation. And then power. Was that made out of aluminum? No. Why is this set to aluminum? I guess it's switched when we ran out of cobalt. So this is not going to be enough cobalt to build all that. Actually, it is. I lied. Give me Leofar. Okay, Leo, you're going to be named. Oh, we also have a prediction. It looks like every... Oh, no, there are 2 different predictions. There's 1,000 points in decorations, and then 30 points in wallpaper. Oh, we would have a good operator. No, bottomless stomach. Never mind. Mirth leaf seeds or balm lily seed? I don't think I'm going to end up using balm lilies, so we'll go with mirth leaf. And let's do the final prediction of the stream. What do we have in here? We have wallpaper. Congrats on who put points into wallpaper. I can't see who it is right now. But you now won 1,000 points from decorations. Who was it? It went to one person. It went to Gino. Congrats, Gino. Okay, what were we doing? We were looking at this stuff. That's all set up. I just have to wait for them to have the batteries. There's something else. I felt more hard-pressed to do something, and I don't remember what it was. Is this a room here? It's not a room. Because the Great Hall requires recreation, building, and fancy decor. That's why I have a decoration person. We do have the water cooler. We also need to put in the airflow tiles. Good luck on catching the Dunsparce, Gino. Okay, so right... Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. There's the... alarm for us to find someone to raid out to. So following right here, there are airflow tiles everywhere. Except for right here. Then I have 3 here, 2 here, 2 here, and not there. Keep pressing the wrong button. Cancel all of them, and this. This is our kitchen. That needs an airflow tile there. For carbon dioxide to fall out. That's all the airflow tiles. And that gives me a spot to put these. Whoops. Okay, now I'm going to spread these out. I do sets of 3, separated by a 3-tile high statue. We might as well do all of them. Do I want it here? Yes, I do. We can deconstruct all these pedestals that we used for transporting liquids. We can also get rid of this triage cot. The skill scrubber. This will get deleted or moved eventually. Right now it's being used for too many things. At some point there's going to be one for salt and a separate one for lime. We also apparently have run out of cobalt ore, so we need to go around and collect some more. Can I get everything over here? I can go up here, get this tile. Right here they can go 2, 3, 4. They can't get that. Right here they can. All this cobalt seems fine. Nope, there's one here. I'm just gonna put a line of ladders right there. We need a line going all the way up there at least. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Dig out all of that. All of this cobalt, and then eventually get everything over here. We already killed the slugs that were out here, so we shouldn't have anything to worry about. There is more cobalt over here, so that's going to be the next place we go to. And I think what I will do is prepare for water to fall down here. By doing that and this. That's probably going to make some of this stuff fall, and if I go off of animations, pretty sure that mud is going to fall. So what falls? Mud and... oh, fluid mud. Makes sense. They apparently got everything but this one piece, which they can reach with just that one ladder. Oh, they can't get to that, though. That's how we'll get over here. Okay, so now we should be able to go back to making cobalt, because we have 13.1 tons of ore now. Since this isn't creating anything due to us having way too much oxygen in the area, this should be turning on actually soon. It's less than 2,000. This is set for 15. So this just makes too much oxygen at one time between the two of them. That's fine. That's going to be switched to this once we get this back online in 30 cycles. And this isn't being built for some reason. No matter which way they come from, they can get to it. Here comes Max supplying the cobalt. So I think I was just too impatient for that. And once they get down here, they're able to get the swamp charred heart. They'll be able to get all the cobalt. We'll be able to get down here and get this cobalt. This is also the end of the asteroid. So that means this is not the water I thought it was. Maybe. It might be the water I thought it was. Okay, so it should be coming up here now. I don't think there's anything else to build other than a few ladders here and there. Why does this say they can't? Oh, they can build it. Never mind. This is probably as good as a place to finally rid out. That is not separated correctly. Because that is supposed to be a statue. So now what I'm going to do is delete those 3, and they should just spread out. Okay, so let's save the game. Is there a Whopper Griller? There is, Oz, and it's well bred. Great, now I want a Whopper. Alright, we saved the game. We did not take the screenshot, so let's go out here, take a screenshot for when I finally add this to YouTube in 3 months. I am getting closer to getting caught up. I am at the point where on YouTube, we were caught up to after Software Inc. and getting into playing these 5 arcade games. So that was Insane Aquarium Deluxe, Rogue Tower, Word Factory, Master Plan Tycoon. What was the 5th one? Oh, Stacklands. And that was all at the end of June, or middle June. Okay, we have the screenshot. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.